Hi everybody, welcome to the NCHA Metallic Cup Futurity. We just wrapped up the non-pro semifinals. Joined here today with Mr. Ryan Rapp. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, congratulations first off. You've had an amazing show already so far.
Thank you, sir. I've been very blessed.
It's been a great show, not just in the non-pro, but also in the open. I mean, your horse we were just talking about. He's been so consistent.
Yes, sir. He's been a consistent horse most of his life. We got pretty lucky. Wayne Robinson rode him as a 2-year-old, and we were going to stick him in the Futurity sale, and he tweaked a hind suspensory right before the sale. Nothing major, but just enough to pull him out. And then I didn't like him at all for about 3 weeks of working him, and then he made a turn, and it's just kind of been all up from there.
Well, and I mean, obviously, you've been getting your hand in on the training side for quite a while now there at Rapp
Yes,
Ranch.
sir. My dad's afforded me a lot of opportunity in that area to ruin a lot of horses.
Well, yeah, I think, but that's the way we learn, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we learn
yes.
from the mistakes.
It's the way I learned.
You're supposed to, anyway. That's what they keep saying. So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, and you've got the ideal environment, not just with Phil there, but also with your mother.
Oh yeah, and she's turning back every morning, right up there where everybody was giving me some crap about not helping her on that side, and I'm like, that's her side of the arena. That's the side she's on every morning. That's just where she likes to be.
Yeah. Well, she's got so many great tips, and I've heard her even when I was there, and she helped me a lot just with little things. And then obviously your sister as well. I mean, you guys. So your mother's got 2 in there in the finals. We've got 26 that advanced out of the semis.
Yes, sir.
2:14.5 is what it took. And like I said, Marianne's got 2 in there, Emma's got 1 in there, you've got 1 in there. I mean, it's quite a show for the Rapps.
It's been quite a show. It's very cool to have us all in there.
Yeah, don't stop swinging, but don't stop believing. With 5 in the finals, the non-pro finals, that stud is really starting to roll.
He's catching his groove. We've been showing him, trying to promote him, and I just really want to see as more people get them, and I really want to see a lot of people find some success on them.
Yeah, well, and they're doing good in the cow horse and other avenues as well, so that's always good. We're talking a little bit about about the Maypower in here. There's so many mares here that stand out.
That really stood out to me when I was looking at the sheet for what advanced. I mean, Special New Kitty, Bittersweet with 2, that great Crown Ranch breeding going on through. Like you see them at the sale, they're doing well at the 2-year-old sale. They're going to do well if they sell any yearlings. But Chad really went in there, and he bought some mares, and he bought some breedings, bought some babies, but he bought the Maypower back years ago, and it's really starting to carry over. It's got him in the finals on 2. His son Will Bouchaw made it on 1, all Crown Ranch bred. It's very, very impressive. It's very nice to see when somebody goes and plans ahead and buys the mares, and it really works out, because we all know how hard the breeding can be.
Yeah, and I mean, that program's been well represented over in the sales this week as well in Western Bloodstock, and we're seeing the quality over there as well. Top score in the semifinals today, there was a pair of 2:20.5s by Jimmy Don Purcelli and Scotty Rice. Jimmy Don on Rockin' the Rolls, a Rolls Royce out of Special New Kitty, and Scotty on Hottie Ticket, the Hottish out of PRF Ray's E-Ticket. Let's talk a little bit about the finals. What was it like down in there? What was the groove today?
It was like a semifinals. Like, it didn't feel that different. Like Scotty really went and showed his horse strong, and that horse is a big, strong stud. I'd assume he's a stud still, and I mean he's got a really cool look. And Scotty went and showed his horse. He wasn't there to mark a 2:14.5 and sneak in there. And nor was anybody else.
Well, he's a Rice. They don't know what it's like to shoot for a 2:16. I mean, it's all or nothing.
It is. Down. And then Jimmy Don. I love Jimmy Don's horse. Yeah. That horse really stood out, just cute little bay stud and out of that great mare, and I mean, just ripped around with old Jimmy Don up there kicking away, and it was cool. It was really good.
Well, and it's fun to see Jimmy Don have the success. I mean, he's invested a lot here in recent years. I mean, working out there with Michael Cooper, and they're not only business partners, but they're doing a lot of business together, but they're also training and riding together, and it's starting to show that that camaraderie is really kind of starting.
It
to
is,
show
and buying the horsepower on the pedigree sheet and it's panning out as it's supposed to.
How great was it for John Johnson down there? Everybody loves John.
I got to sit up there above and watch from the cow box and cheer for him, and I mean, that you'd have thought it was the open finals. That when he was going there, everybody in that arena was cheering. There wasn't quite as many people, but everybody. I love John. I'm so happy to see him do
Well,
good.
he works so hard over there, you know, and helping with James Payne and that program over there. And he rode Masterson Blues today to a 2:19. Blakely Simino, another one, having good luck today, covered in dots, 2:17.5.
Freshman sire.
Yeah, another freshman sire.
Look like really talented horse.
Yeah,
really talented.
I've talked with this about some of the other guys. What's it like? You know, this show is always new because we're seeing some of the bloodlines, the new bloodlines coming through. It's exciting to see, you know, what these new freshman sires are going to do. What's it been like?
Well, it's interesting because it's always exciting because they're babies. They've never been shown. You know, we all think they're good. They're not, but you never really know until you show them a couple times. And just to see the Rolls Royces come out as strong as they have, the Gotcha Covereds. I believe PG Heavily Armed is his freshman year, and then the Dual Reyish is obviously. I mean, it's extra special to watch freshman horses really step up, and I enjoy it. And Blakely and Chet recently enough getting married and having a baby, and him moving in over there and really putting a full program, because he started, you know, on the 2-year-olds and really built himself up. But for him to really transfer over and do a great job on the show side is very impressive in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing now, you know, as we're seeing him, he started these colts that we're seeing him show, and Blakely show, and some of those others.
I mean,
and that's always, you know, it really, I think it helps him because there's no transition. He knows these horses from the get-go. Yeah. And just like with what you're doing, you know, I mean, you've been there from the get-go with that horse.
Yes,
and
sir.
I think it just helps you build that relationship.
And just the horse flesh under you, and you can go right there. I mean, they've got over there at the Circle C, I believe it is. It is Circle C.
Circle
right?
S?
Circle. Well, that's Austin, but is Circle C?
Yes.
Circle C is the
Triple C.
Triple C. Thank you. The Triple C. Yes. I mean, just the horse flesh they have there, the breeding and everything, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's awesome.
It's all there. All he's got to do is put the pieces together.
Yep.
He's got all the ingredients there to make that program be successful.
And he was stirring them.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't letting that batter bake.
I think we're going to be hearing a lot of Chet's name here in upcoming years.
Yes.
You know, with everything that's going on. Some of the other faces. I mean, we've got Sarah Marine in there with 2. Like we said, Marianne's got 2. Chad's got 2. Alexa's got 2 in there. So Alexa Stent, both hers in.
And Paulie Polar just got them as trained as they can be, and she goes and she shows beautifully, and those horses know to work the cow. They're going to work the cow.
Paul is so easy to follow, and I think, you know, and it's great to see Alexa have success in there, and there's another one with some, you know, great breeding, you know, side in her program with everything she's doing.
She's been
there.
building for years.
Yeah.
Well, and Sarah, I believe she was late on both of her horses, and to come in there and make the best use of the cow she had and be as successful as she was to get 2 in there. Yeah. I've never made 2 in there, so I don't know what it's like, but I'd imagine it seems to me to be pretty difficult.
Well,
very impressive.
You're going to see a lot of familiar faces in there with your mom on too, and your sister right there, and so it'd be interesting to see if you guys all like draw out back to back.
I hope not. We don't have enough. We're going to have to hire some people to help us get these horses ready. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we were talking too about the points. I mean, everything's been a little bit lower this year, but the action, I mean, it's still been exciting, and it's been great horses. But this year we started out with 327 in the first go, took a 203 to the second go, which last year was a 206. 424 to the semis this year. Last year was a 427, and now 214.5 to the finals. It was a 216.5 last year. The cow's been a little tougher, but I still think the quality is there.
I agree. The cattle have definitely been tougher. Like I didn't mind these semifinals cattle. We kind of went back to, I want to say they said it was the cattle from the first go round of the Open, and it's no piece of cake. I mean, there's still some ratty cattle in there that are going to run you over that acted good, but they definitely lied a little bit more in kind of the go rounds, I felt like, and I think the judging is been kind of restructured, because, you know, look back like 30 years ago, the scores were not near as high, and then they got really high, and I think they've just kind of restructured it a little bit and make it a little bit less, I don't know if you want to call it inflated, but they're just kind of
Well,
changing
we've seen the consistency there, I think, and that's the main
They
thing.
have stayed consistent through different sets of judges, which is very difficult to do, and I've been can't complain on that.
No, it's never easy, and obviously, I mean, nobody's seen these horses before, so I mean, it's literally we're seeing a lot of these horses for the first time.
Yes.
So how did you handle the transition? I mean, you've had a busy show, obviously, with the Open and the non-pro. How did you handle, and with the finals in between and everything else?
Well, I sure enjoyed, like, you know, it's kind of a marathon when you show them the Open and the non-pro, and there's so many days, and like on the little Don't Stop Swinging horse, he drew up on the first day, and then, you know, you just kind of coast, and he was easy to coast through working, fortunately, and like I've had some that weren't, but I don't know, just kind of got to just get them to peak. You know, there's peaks and valleys all year, and there's peaks and valleys through the show, and you just kind of want to get them up to the top of that peak when you show, and then back them back off, and, you know, trying to keep them sound and confident and everything. It's difficult, but it sure makes it a lot of fun. And I did a little bit of deer hunting during the amateur and stuff.
Snuck off.
Yeah, I got to sneak off. That helps my mental. Yeah. You got to have a little release.
Yeah. Well, so tomorrow morning, we've got the finals coming up tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. So tomorrow morning, the priority pen at Rapp Ranch, who's working first tomorrow?
Well, I would imagine Dad wants to go look at some yearlings in the morning. I bet we don't get started until a little later and let that frost burn off. And then we'll just kind of go by draw. It's what we did this morning.
Did you?
Yes,
so
sir.
it truly is a priority.
Yeah, it's kind of just go by draw. I got on Ma's 2 first, got them worked, and then jumped on mine, got me knocked out, and let little M's there for last, and he was good, and we all got in there. So it seemed to work. Better not change it now.
Yeah. Well, how fun was it to see your sister make the non-pro finals?
And 2 years in a row. So last year, I believe, was her first non-pro semifinals, and then so this one was her second. Just to make it 2 years in a row is very, very impressive. She shows so naturally. I mean, it's always difficult, but she makes it look a lot easier than I know it is.
She's definitely taken a lot from your mother, I think, and shows a lot
that
like
Maypower.
Marianne. Yeah, that bottom side coming through again. But anyway, well, we're excited. It's going to be a fun finals. We've got a lot of action left here at the show this week still with. We've got amateur finals fixing to kick off here, and then we've got non-pro finals tomorrow. We've still got a lot of action over in the sail barn over there, which has been pretty hot as well.
It has.
It's been a great week, and we're going to wrap it up with the Open finals on Saturday evening. So be sure to tune in to CHC Live Scoring if you can't make it down here live, and we'll see you down the road. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mark.